This video is going to show you how to calculate work and power. The formula you need for work and power is work equals force times distance. So to rank these in order from greatest to least, we're going to take the force of 50 and multiply it by the distance of 10. 50 times 10 is 500. So this first one is 500. 50 times 20. So 50 times 20 is going to be 1,000. 100 times 10 would be 1,000. And 100 times 20 would be 2,000. So if we rank them in order from greatest to least, the greatest would be D. Then there's a tie for B and C. And then the last one would be A. So greatest here to least here. Power, the formula for that, there are two formulas. Work over time, or power can be written force times distance over time. But if we look at this equation, they tell us if you run 100 meters in 20 seconds, what are two ways you can increase your power the next time you run? So if we think about it, the distance is 100 meters. So we're not changing that, right? In both races, it's going to be 100 meters. So we're going to leave that the same. But if you run in 20 seconds, that's the time, how could you potentially increase your power? One way would be to increase your force. Because remember, power is force times distance divided by time. So you could increase your force. So that would mean, lift weights, build your muscles, and it'd be stronger so you can run faster. The other way to increase your power, if we think about it, is you have to shorten your time. So increase your force, and the other way is to decrease your time. Basically, they would both have the same effect at losing power. The other option, I suppose, is to run a shorter race, which wouldn't be quite fair. All right, calculating power, we're going to use these two equations. So what's the power output of an engine that does 60,000 joules of work in 10 seconds? So that is work. So we're going to use this equation because it's written just how we need it. It's got work there. So power is work over time. 60,000 joules is the work. 10 seconds is the time. The zeros cancel out, and you have 6,000 watts. Watts is the unit of power. Calculate the power produced by a 60 Newton box that's lifted 20 meters in 10 seconds. So this time, this equation is going to be more useful because it's got force and distance in it. It's kind of the work equation is written out. So power is force times distance over time. So our force would be 60 newtons. The distance is 20 meters. The time is 10 seconds. So 60 times 2 is 120 watts is the answer.